the Great American Beater Bash, where memories are made and mistakes may happen.
Everybody needs to know May 2nd. That's Derby Day. Derby Day. Think Derby Day. Derby Day.
Let's
Derby
go!
Day. The influencer class, that's my shtick at this demolition derby that I'm doing. I'm bringing in some people in the entertainment space, if you will, to come and drive their first demolition derby. You can literally go out and buy a $500 shunt box. It may have fourth gear out, whatever. You're not going to need it. And then you do a very basic preparation and bring it. And you pay $40 for a chance at $1,000.
Mortal Theory.
We've got concessions, and then the Wicked Wieners truck's going to be there slinging hot dogs, slinging some glizzies. Freeman Brothers is sponsoring a car. I've got Boom Bad Fireworks sponsoring a car. Charlie Mike's at Dispensary is sponsoring a car. Mortal Theory themselves is sponsoring a car. There's going to be a Mortal Theory car. The list goes on. If anybody wants to sponsor one of these cars, this is the deal. I am sourcing the cars, preparing the cars, and then having them painted. And then the influencer, which we can match influencers to sponsors. There's no real feasible reason not to come. Unless
That's what she said.
yeah, to come. But
Come join the event and invite all your friends.
come see me at the Great American Beater Bash, Litchfield, Kentucky, May 2nd, Grayson County Fairgrounds, where legends are made.
Located at 511 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, Sugar Booger's Custom Cakes has been bringing delicious treats to the Tri-County area for over a decade. Whether it be a cupcake, cookie, cake pop, brownie, or a signature one-of-a-kind custom cake that will be the star of any event, Sugar Boogers has you covered. Easy online ordering with polite, knowledgeable staff guaranteed to make each experience easy and stress-free. Go check them out on Facebook or give them a call for a free estimate. Sugar Boogers Custom Cakes for all occasions, 606-344-6595.
Are you looking for somewhere in Corbin, Kentucky to host your next event? Here we have it at Harvey's on Main at 115 Main Street. Let's check it out. Step into timeless charm and unforgettable elegance at this stunning historic venue. With breathtaking architectural details and an inviting open floor layout, Harvey's is the perfect setting for your next special event. Delight in the breathtaking bar complete with tap, a fully equipped kitchen for seamless catering, clean and accessible restrooms, a beautiful elevated stage for speakers, performers, or presenters. And for weddings and formal events, relish in the comfort and privacy of the bridal suite. Whether you're hosting an intimate gathering or a large celebration, Harvey's on Main provides the perfect scene to create lasting memories. Thoughtfully designed by the owner, who will be by your side every step of the way to ensure all your wants and needs are met. Book today and let Harvey's bring your vision to life.
Are you a jerky jerk?
You're holding it, right?
Yeah, I got it. Just give me 1 second.
RJ's Beef Jerky. Real jerky for real jerky jerks.
Can you give me a piece? Yeah, of course.
Kick off your boots, come gather round. We're digging up secrets that can't stay down. Bigfoot's out there in the midnight air. Aliens watching from Cupid is gonna tell you why. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Footsteps in the woods, lights in the sky. Some call it crazy, we just ask why. Laugh if you wanna, but you just might see there's more to the world than they want it to be. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Truth or a tale, come and see. We're gonna have some fun, y'all.
In a world where feelings are protected and men have traded big, beautiful beards for man purses and man buns, comes to you a podcast you always wanted and never knew you needed. A podcast where feelings are left at the door and conversations happen unfiltered and no sugarcoating. What is going on, No Sugarcoating Podcast fans? Paul Buchanan wanted to reach out. The month of April is going to be full of candidates. We're going to see a lot of different people from a lot of different positions running, primarily in Laurel County and the surrounding areas. The No Sugarcoating Podcast crew wanted to let you know that we are by no means journalists. Do not come to our show expecting breaking news in regards to what's going on in the elections. We simply have discussions. We are not journalists. We are not a news show. We have discussions. We set our candidates in front of a screen where they can read the messages and they can answer the ones they want to. And we try to include the people watching's questions to the candidates. However, we're unable to get to all of them, and some of the questions the candidates cannot answer. They're just legally bound to not answering the questions. Again, and we can't make them tell the truth either, guys. So, just wanted to kind of let you guys know ahead of time. Hopefully, you'll see this before every episode of a candidate. But, yeah, guys, we're not a news crew. We don't pretend to be journalists. We have discussions. We try to bring out the best of everyone that comes here. We have no gotcha that we're trying to do to any candidate. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Have a great day.
What is going on? Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, everywhere where you can catch us. We have another great show tonight. We have Johnny Farmer.
Johnny Miller, come on, man.
Sorry, if you've been watching the show, you know I'm horrible with names.
I've heard that.
I'm horrible with names. I should have kept my...
It's even on the title.
Dude,
I'm not reading the title.
he volunteered to do the opening too, right?
He did.
This is the best thing about we mess up. We make mistakes and we roll on with it.
We all do, and we're going to keep trudging past.
But
disclaimer: Jericho makes mistakes.
When it comes
Lots
to names,
of them.
I will butcher everybody's name.
All right, so we've got Johnny. You're going to have me say that. Johnny Miller on the show now. Sorry, you're going to have me mess it up now. We have Johnny Miller on the show tonight, guys. If you're watching him on Facebook, if you're not following him on Facebook, you need to do that now. He's a wealth of information of all things going on at the city council, and he should be, because that's what he's running for, a spot in the city council.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it, Paul. Jericho.
Oh, just throw a little dirt on us. That's cool.
So yeah, I'm running for city council for London, Kentucky. Been a lifelong resident of Laurel County. Lived in the city limits for the last 9 years, and
I love how you pointed that out.
Yeah.
City limits.
So, it's one of those situations where I'm not in it for the drama. I'm not in it for, the views, the clicks, whatever. I'll take it, obviously, for my campaign right now. But in the meantime, I just want to get back to business and get it to where London can move forward again.
So that's what London needs. And we're going to talk about all that. First, let's get to know you. All right, so you've lived in City of London for 9 years. Have you always lived in Laurel County, Whitley County, around here?
For the most part, yeah. So my wife and I, when we first got married, we bought a house.
Could you turn this mic up a little bit, Ronnie?
It is up.
Okay.
All the way.
Maybe it's just a soft voice.
Yeah.
See if this is any better.
Yeah, maybe.
Let us know. If not, I'll happily speak up. But when my wife and I first got married, we bought a house in Woodbine. We still worked in London. So because of that, we were looking to try to move back home. We bought a house back in London, out in the county. And then, we'd flip a house every now and then. We'd fix it up, make a little money and move on. The last house was the one we moved to the city limits, with our 2 daughters. Now we've got a granddaughter.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Best thing in the world. She'll be 3 in September. And this is one of those things where, not trying to sound, like just the good guy, but in the meantime, I want to leave a better place for her. If things go the way they keep going right now, who would want to stick around?
Yeah. I mean, as we all should, though, as
That's right. You
fathers.
thought you were leaving Woodbine for a better place.
Sadly, Woodbine's a little better right now.
Yeah.
Woodbine's a little bit better position than London is right now.
Well, Woodbine is quiet, subtle,
Well, at least you know what you know
Yeah.
in Woodbine.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't trip on some secret when you're walking out to get your mail. So,
Right.
We've been around the area, the entire time. My wife is from Knox County. Our girls went to school in Laurel County. Both of them graduated from South Laurel High. My youngest one is now a freshman in college, and we're to the point where instead of just sitting back and quietly raising our family, we can step up and we can do something, and that's what's got us where we are right now.
See, and contrary, maybe not contrary, because you've taken a little bit of heat, but we've had both Mayor Weddle and Sheriff Root said this is exactly why good people don't run in elections, is because of the heat that they got to take or the scrutiny that they got to go through. But I mean, if it's for the right cause,
Right.
I mean, I know there's, I'd go through hell and high water for my kids, and right now, London's just in a real bad space, and that's not saying anything anybody doesn't know. I know that there's people from every side watching right now, and the only thing everyone can agree on is change has got to happen. Yeah. They might see where change happening differently, but they can all agree that it's got to happen.
And I think that's a weird spot to be in.
Yeah.
We've kind of been used to, okay, this is just the normal thing. These are people that we know. Maybe we'll get rid of this or we'll do that, whatever. But we've never been in a place where the overarching majority is, hey, we got to do something different.
Yeah.
And I've been going around knocking on doors, talking to everybody that I can, and that's the beginning message is we need something different, and. To hear, the mayor, to hear the sheriff say that it's hard to get good people to run for office is almost, it's almost kind of stings, because it's like, oh gosh, does that mean I'm not good? No, it just means that people are either really doing it for the right reason, and they know they're going to take those lumps, which is absolutely happening right now, or they've got some weird agenda, and you know what, that's the kind of people they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think primarily they were getting at, if you don't have thick skin, right, then you can't play this game.
Yeah, and
that's
just
the truth.
Kind of directing it back to what's going on right now. You have to look at the current city council and you have to say, okay, what kind of skin do they have whenever they won't even talk to the people that show
they
up
ain't
at
got
their open meetings?
Tough skin.
No, instead of actually addressing the issues that are getting brought up. all they do is either one, they don't answer any questions at all,
Or kick you out for wanting to talk.
kick you out for wanting to talk, or have a lawyer sitting up there who answers more questions than they do, or they just adjourn the meeting and say, okay, we're out. You guys continue, have fun. We're not going to do this.
Yeah, let me ask you something. You bring that lawyer up. Is it required to have him all the time?
So you're talking about the city attorney?
Yeah.
Jay Bryce?
No, he's talking about the one just for the council.
Yeah, the one for the council.
It's
yeah.
okay. So the one just for the council, that's not required at all. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think the city attorney being up there is required either. But in the meantime, his job is to kind of keep things on track. His job is not to either direct someone to make a motion, to answer a question, or to be looked at like, imagine you and I are talking, you ask me a question, and I just stub up and I look over to Paul, and I wait for Paul to give me permission to talk or to let Paul answer the question. No, you and I are talking. I don't need Paul for that.
Yeah.
If we wanted to elect, that seventh person to be up there, we would have elected that person instead of the people that are up there now.
So the current council is just wasting taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Having him there because they're paying him for being there.
Yeah.
It's her, I think.
It
Or
is.
him, her, yeah.
Yeah, and they are getting paid. They're absolutely getting paid, and it's coming from the taxpayer dollars, and we're paying them basically to answer questions that we elected people to answer. And that's even just getting past the appointed part. Which we've heard a huge ruckus about. Okay, this one's appointed, that one's appointed. We're not going to fall into that trap because what happened with the appointments was absolutely legal. There's no reason.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, over the past couple of years, 2 years ago, we had the 6 council members that actually got elected to their seats. I believe it was maybe January, right after, something like that, when the first one resigned for health reasons. And
That was the Jervis guy.
Yeah, Kip Jervis, great guy, absolutely great guy, and I can't blame him at all. You have health reasons, you can't perform your duties, so instead of it being something weird and him trying to, no, I'm going to recover, I'm going to let this seat go vacant, and then the law, though, KRS says that the sitting council members can then appoint basically anyone as long as they qualify to run. They can be qualified to be put on that council.
But everybody that's qualified has been their best friends.
Absolutely. And
That's an opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion that I've seen.
so that kind of set some things in motion to get where we are. So if you're looking at it, it appeared, I'm with you. It appeared that that they may have had an agenda, and they may have had some people on the council who weren't in line with that agenda. And I'm not saying Kip was one or wasn't one, I don't know, but that allowed them to put somebody on there that they knew for sure would kind of go with what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then the next one was kind of forced to resign because she had a sick family member, and she was zooming into the meetings, and she wasn't trying to shirk her duties, but she was just out of state taking care of a sick family member.
Right.
So they made an ordinance to where you're either there.
Isn't that convenient? There was a guy running for sheriff that talked about an ordinance that was made also.
Yeah.
That didn't benefit him very well either.
So, if you were to look at, repeated patterns of behavior, that might show that they've got a history of that one.
Yeah.
So that forced her to resign. Then they put somebody else on there who, at first was actually giving us a little bit of optimism because he was originally on the ethics board. So we're like, okay, maybe this guy straight down the middle like should be with ethics, and then it just kind of turned out that he was happy to sit up there and either not answer questions or not do business or just go along with whatever he thought. And I'm just like, well, here we are.
Is there a head council member?
No.
So everybody's
No.
equal.
When you're up there on the council, there's a chair, and that chair would normally be the mayor. Now, if the mayor cannot make it to that meeting, then they'll appoint a chair out of the 6 that are there. But there's no head council member.
Oh.
So
I
everybody's
was
equal
yeah.
across the board.
I was just wondering if
However-
there was like a master puppeteer.
Well, I mean, just hold on. However, there's a pecking order with almost everything.
Yeah, that's
The people that have been there the longest serving members typically, and I don't know if this is the case in the council, I'm just saying in everything I've ever been involved in, even though we were equals, the one that had the most experience was the one that everybody kind of looked toward in all the work that I've ever done.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not saying there's a pecking order. I'm not saying that there's a leader, but
Speak.
That or the one with the loudest voice.
right.
You know how that goes, Ronnie. Sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right.
And, I actually talked to one of the council members after one of the first appointments, because it wasn't somebody that had ran. It wasn't somebody that if you want to be fair, maybe you say, okay, for the sake of transparency, which is a word we've heard like crazy over the last 2 years, but we haven't seen any actions that show they're transparent. But they said, you know what, in the sake of transparency, if you would like to be on the council, if you would like to replace, Kip Jervis, let us know. Reach out to us. Give us your resume. We're going to talk to you. And there was a bunch of people that showed up. There really were. Some of them had ran in the past. Some of them had just missed being on the council by, a handful of votes. I was this close to getting up there and talking whenever we found out who was actually already appointed. But in the meantime, after the appointment was made, I talked to one of the council members and I said, hey, listen, the person you appointed, they didn't talk. They didn't tell us an intention to do this. You didn't make them go through what you made all these other people go through. And I'm not saying it was humiliating, but in the meantime, you're gonna say, okay, well, Paul, you get up. If you want to do it, show me what you got. Jericho, show me what you got. All right, thanks, guys. We're going with Ronnie. And that's what they did. And you know what the response was? We needed their experience. They've done this for a long time, and we needed their experience. And I just looked at them, and I said, hey, listen, I can appreciate that answer, but the reason you were voted in, and this was their first time being voted in, and it was somebody not originally from the area, I said, we needed change, and the people that voted for you didn't want the experience that you just pulled back in. They wanted something new.
Yeah. So can the council collectively come together and do away with being able to appoint people?
No. So
No, we've asked that question before, Jerry.
yeah,
Yeah. I couldn't remember it, though.
yeah. The appointment process is the appointment process is KRS. So that stands for Kentucky Revised Statutes. That's the laws, and here's the easy way to get into this is to say, well, all the laws are stupid. The people that made them suck. Let's go back to the drawing board. It's not that simple. One, because the laws were never meant to be manipulated the way they are right now. That law was made because the people that were actually writing these laws out there never thought that a group of people would come together collectively to use their laws
Against them.
And that's where we are right now. So, you would want to think that Frankfurt is watching. But
Okay.
they're the only ones that can change these laws.
Okay, so even though unions are allowed to appoint people, can unions collectively agree to not appoint someone and run a special election?
The special election, I believe, could be voted on and could be pulled in, and you could absolutely come together and try to figure out a better way to do it. Mm-hmm. And to me, I don't know that would ever have happened with this current council because it just makes sense. It seems like everything that makes a little bit of common sense is, we're just going to go the other direction.
Right.
And let's say you wanted to make it, even more simple than that. Instead of, taking the time, the effort, and it's going to take money to run a special election. Instead of doing all that, how about we just go to the next person?
The next person with the votes,
yeah,
right?
You voted for 6. Okay, let's go talk to number 7. Hey, number 7.
That makes a lot of
You got
sense.
the next amount of votes. You want to do it?
Yeah.
People said that you were the next one. Oh, no? Okay, let's go to number 8. Then, there were 12 people. We've got 6 more people that we can run through, in succession of how many votes they got. But in the meantime, no, we're just going to pick some guy who I think will.
That's
will do
really
it.
smart. That like.
Well, see, and here's the thing. It's all about stewardship and fiduciary accountability. So fiduciary meaning we've got the power of the purse.
Yeah, if you could just
We as
speak
a
on
city-
terms that
I'm
we
sorry,
understand.
yeah. The city council, and we've heard this before. We've heard somebody say before that the city council has the power of the purse. That means that they can control the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want someone who says, you know what, instead of giving you somebody you didn't vote for, and causing you to spend more of your hard-earned tax money on something that you didn't want in the first place, let's go the simple route that makes the most sense. And we still
That's how you're tying back in number 7.
That's it, number 7.
We don't have to have a special election. Let's just get the next guy, the highest
But in the
vote.
meantime, let's say we get through all those that were on the ballot. Now we're going to look at special election, because it's still better to get the voice of the people than it is just to put somebody in that we're friends with.
Well, now you got JJ saying there's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, absolutely.
So, I mean, I've watched a lot of your videos, and a lot of people agree. You're very informative about this stuff. And there's a lot of things that have been happening that we've got to see kind of unfold that doesn't seem like it should be allowed.
Right.
Just the last meeting, everybody got the agenda like the day of, and it was very vague and nobody really knew. Like, had you not explained it, well, let me just give Melissa Jones a little credit.
Right.
Had Melissa Jones not record you explaining everything that was happening, I would have not known. Sure. And that kind of goes back to the transparency thing that we're hoping to see out of the city council, where it's not just we're going to be talking about this bill 62541 and everybody's just supposed to know exactly what that means.
Right. And with that, transparency has gotten to be a buzzword lately. And I'm not talking about just in the public. It's my family as well. We've used it to kind of show that you say you're trying to be transparent, but you're not. But here's what we've seen. We've seen a degradation of involvement. And I'm not even talking about from the people that actually show up to these open meetings. I'm talking about the council members themselves, to the point where they're getting well, we legally don't have to read this to you, so we're just not going to read it. And well, how's that transparent? To Paul's point, how are we supposed to know?
That's so stupid.
Yeah, how are we supposed to know what's in there if you don't read it? And now they just keep taking it up a step to the point where they come to the April regular meeting without an agenda posted 24 hours ahead of time, and the reasoning behind it was, we don't legally have to do that. So there's absolutely a difference between following the letter of the law and the spirit of the law.
Well, again, guys, this is my opinion, but that current council board, they have an authority issue. They think they're God.
Right.
You can always cut on Jericho to have those moments. These are those buzzworthy moments. We actually pay him to say these things that people are thinking but won't say.
I try not to watch him. He watches all the videos that they put out and stuff, and then he starts telling me about it, so I'll catch myself watching it later, and I'm like, God almighty, they're stupid.
To your point, Jericho, you're probably hearing what Paul's telling you, and you're like, no, they didn't do that. And that's where we're getting to the point, So, I work with a lot of people from across the country, and I've got folks as far away as Pennsylvania telling me that, hey, I saw you on Facebook last night at this meeting. What was going on there? And you hear people that you talked about in the public that are basically saying, I don't want to go anywhere outside of the area, because as soon as they find out I'm from London, now it's, get your popcorn out. Let's talk about the story. What's going on with your show.
I was talking to my daughter's doctor about it yesterday. Like, we spent 30 minutes, and he's like, Paul, I've been watching the podcast. Got a lot of stuff going on. This is no joke, I swear to you, going on in London. I was like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But just to kind of get on some of the things that I'm reading about, the thing that upsets me about the council is all this, wait, you'll see. This will all make sense soon.
Yeah.
And you hear that. That's what almost all of them say is like, oh, you don't get it now.
Yeah.
but you'll get it.
So,
and in the middle of that, none of city business is being done. None of city business. All the citizens are not getting their voice heard. There's nothing going across the table other than what the council wants to speak about. And if they do open up the table for people to talk, then they shut them down. It's 2 or 3 people in. They adjourn. It's over. But it's always just wait. It feels like, the dangling carrot that we're just waiting to see how all this makes sense, and it hasn't. We're almost at the election. It hasn't made it there yet.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part, because it does feel like that. It feels like hey, you know what? This is gonna pay off at some point. Just stay with us. Just stay with us.
Because you want to initially.
Sure you do. Anybody with a little bit of I hate just using common sense, but anybody that's out there wants to be like, okay, you know what? Maybe there's some truth to this. I want to listen to it. But you can't drag it out for 2 years.
No.
Sure. If you've got something big, let's talk about it.
Right.
And if it's that important, if it's so important that you think it should stop all business in a small town like London, you think it's that important that you should kick a mayor out of office that was duly elected to his seat, how about we go ahead and we talk about that today? Let's not wait until 4 days before the election. Let's not wait until all of a sudden, it's now pertinent because I've got more proof. No, you talk about it with us right now. You get it out to us, and then you let us form our opinion based on what you've got for us.
Right. Well, I don't know why allegedly can't be thrown around in their conversations.
Sure.
Why it has to be thrown around in all of ours.
Right.
Why do we have to say allegedly? Why can't the people that we're waiting on to come to us with it's coming say, well, guys, listen, allegedly the mayor's in this, or allegedly this is that, allegedly this, and they can't just say these things. Right. Well, I mean, because they get their lawyer that they pay thousands of dollars to draft up something that they can legally say that kind of wraps up what the intention of this office is. That way, we know what they're seeking. We know why this is continuing.
Well, wouldn't the people be paying for that lawyer?
Well, yeah, that's what I meant, Jared.
Well, I mean, no, you're on a good point right there. If the people is paying for that lawyer, he has a responsibility to the people. Yeah.
That's it.
That's why. Yeah, he has a responsibility to the people. I would think a lawyer out of the whole group would want to inform the people.
What we're seeing is that it's really convenient to ignore certain things that don't push the narrative that you're shooting for. So whenever we say things like, "Well, our tax dollars are paying your lawyer," crickets. But
no, they say, "Wait, just wait. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off.
Be worth it."
Yeah.
And I'm tired of wait. I'd seen one of the comments up there about there's 2 sides to every story. There's 2 truths, and that's 100% true. And I wish that there's a current sitting council member that would come on here and talk to you all. I wish that they would.
That will happen.
Yeah. I wish
there's 3 sides to every story, though. It's your side, my side, and the truth.
And the truth, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm with you on that one. And I would be open. I would be open to sitting down and talking to a current city council member right now, or all 6 of them. And I would love to have a back and forth like this, because here's the thing: I'm not asking to sign up for this so that I'm sitting up there and whatever I say is the decision that gets made. I'm asking to sit up there so people can see me working with a group of people that were also elected to the same job. And I hope
or appointed.
I mean, isn't it about hearing what the public wants and then discussing and making informed decisions, or pulling in resources to research whatever the situation may be?
Oh yeah, 100%. And with that pulling in your resources, it's also something that we're missing. Where how about we discuss, how we came to this conclusion.
Right.
Ronnie, you and I don't agree about this. So instead of it just being that we shut down and we don't talk about it, how about we talk about it in front of the public?
Right.
And I tell you why I don't agree with you, and you tell me the same. And now all of a sudden, whenever we leave here, we see each other's sides.
Right.
We don't need 6 people that all think the exact same way.
No, I've said that on the show.
No, and we do need 6 people that have the exact same goal to move the city, whether it's London, Corbin, Barville, wherever we're talking about, to move them forward. That's where you're going to start to see some change really happen. But in the meantime, if you've got one goal and it's not to move the city forward, that's the only thing they're going to work on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the best part about it. Everything you just said is, as long as me and you are in goal aligns, our opinions about that can be totally different. And in my opinion, I think that's the best.
Yeah.
Well, it's any
Because-
job you're in is that way.
Well-
you,
well-
you have a boss that says you've got a deadline. Two people working have two different ways to get there. We may not agree on Excel formulas or whatever we're doing, right?
Yep.
But the end product needs to be the same. We still have a report due. Our personal differences is outside the business. We have a job to do, and that's as simple as that. The city council has a job
The
to
only
do. The mayor
thing-
has a job to do.
The only thing that's going to change is the path
Right.
that gets you there.
Yeah.
It's our decision. Not decision. It's our responsibility to figure out collectively what path is the best one.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. When you get two people that may not necessarily agree on the same path, but they're working towards the same goal, you've got a much better product at the end.
And just to say, we've never said the mayor hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, I've never said that either.
Yeah.
So just to say that,
Yeah.
Tessa,
However-
I'll call you out. We've never said the mayor never. Has
however,
done
we're
anything
having
wrong.
a conversation with somebody running for city council, so that's what we want to speak
I
on.
100% appreciate that comment. You know, anybody that has seen any of the videos, anybody that showed up, I know we were talking beforehand, and I was telling you all how just being there in person is a completely different experience than seeing the video either on you know, the Facebook page or YouTube or whatever. But if you see afterward, you've probably seen me talk to the mayor more than once. Shoot, I shake his hand, I give him a hug, and then, you know, we talk a little bit. But here's the thing. You've never heard me say that he's perfect, and you've never heard me say that he's not done anything wrong. I would never say I'm perfect or I've done nothing wrong. And the cool part about this is I've been able to look this man in the eye and tell him that I didn't agree with what he did. And we still shake hands and walk off, and we can still talk next time.
So talking about the mayor right fast, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Are you kin to him?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
Well, am I supposed to be?
I don't. There's a few people saying that you was possibly kin to him.
No.
So I was like, let's find out.
Absolutely not.
Everybody in London's related.
It does seem like it. It does seem like there's a lot of, especially political people, are
Yeah.
related.
Yeah.
Or very close, like married to my cousin, and yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get back to, we got on a big run with city
We did.
council,
We
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
and let's get back to getting to know you. a
Yeah,
little
we
better.
squirreled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the type of experience you have in the job, what you're working now, how long have you been doing that, a little bit more about your wife and kids and stuff like that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So, my daily life, you know, I have to make sure I say this correctly. I'm definitely not.
Thank you for correcting that,
Yeah.
Miss Justice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Well, I just took it the wrong way. I read it the wrong way. Sorry, it's my fault.
No-
Anyways, I'm sorry, John.
No
Please
problem at all,
continue.
and it didn't bother me, and I hope it didn't bother you guys either.
It didn't bother me.
I don't mind talking about it. But no, I work for Walmart DC in London, Kentucky. You know, I've been there for about 7 years. I'm one of the senior leaders in the building, and that's really important. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But as far as experience, you know, I've been in some sort of leadership. You know, basically most of my adult life. You know, managed Cracker Barrel for 10 years, and it was rough. You're never talking to people about good stuff there. It's always they've got problems, and you got to figure it out. You know, and you're the boss lady getting on me.
They're saying every time you turn your head,
Yeah.
they
You don't
can't-
have to look at me. I don't count. I'm never here. So.
Thanks, Roddy. So, but no, you know, I've been with Walmart now for 7 years, and when I say, you know, senior leader, there's about 15 of us where we meet weekly. We sit down at a table and we discuss the business. You know, we talk about, you know, how things are going, how we can improve, you know, what we need to improve on, and you have to imagine that 15 people in one room for 2 or 3 hours at a time. Not everybody agrees with each other.
No, they don't.
You know,
3 people can't agree with one another all the time.
No, absolutely not. So, you put us in there, and the things that we're talking about are, a budget that's roughly the size of a small city anyway. So now we're talking about numbers that kind of equate to the city council and what they'd be dealing with. The only difference is that if I mess up and I get my part of this wrong, I'm held accountable by a bigger company. I don't get, the opportunity to say, well, the other 14 don't think I should leave, so you guys can't fire me because I did something that you don't agree with. And I think that's one of the things that we're missing with this. I know that it's not going to be as simple as, let's fire somebody if they've acted a way we don't agree with. But in the meantime, we sure need some accountability.
Mm-hmm. So, out of the 15 of you, is your end goal always the same?
Oh yeah, 100%.
To move forward.
To move forward. We've got a ranking system as far as our warehouses go. We always want to be number one, and not to brag, but we're number 4 out of 47 buildings, and you don't get that way by having different end goals. You get that way by having the same end goal and everybody having a voice, and everybody getting to say, "I think we should do it this way," and then they talk it out until we figure out the right decision to make for us.
I mean, that's exactly what we've said all evening right here.
When I was in leadership, it was called buying into the vision, right? So you have to all buy into it.
Right.
And if you buy into it, you're invested, which means everybody's got skin in the game. So
and to Ronnie's point, buying in doesn't mean that we're all gonna agree with the head person at the table.
Right.
No, we're gonna tell the head person at the table that, hey, you know what, maybe we tried this 20 years ago and it didn't work. Okay, well, what didn't work about it? Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's discuss this. And not one person brings their personal feelings to that table to the point that, oh, you didn't agree with me, so we can't be friends and we'll just not talk ever again.
Seems like city council would do a lot more risk analysis, too, before they make decisions.
You would think, and with the risk analysis part, Ronnie, it almost seems like that maybe some KLC, you've probably heard a little bit of that, this Kentucky League of Cities, they do training for city leaders so that they can avoid some of this. So, maybe there's some risk analysis training that either wasn't paid attention or they just didn't get to.
Well, has this current council not been to any of them?
So you can look it up, how many's been and what they've been to. Some of them been, and it appears that some of them haven't. And you know what?
Because some of them were voted for and some of them were appointed.
And if I'm wrong on that, and they have been, first off, I'll be the first one to say I'm wrong, and I'm not trying to call them out.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm saying that, hey, listen, if you really want to be taken seriously at this, how about
an opportunity?
Yeah. How about you go learn? How about you study this? You ask if, hey, can I do this? Is this allowed? Am I doing something for a personal vendetta, or am I doing it for the good of the city?
Well, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this.
Well, can I ask mine while you think?
Yes.
If you say listen, I'm going to come across this and smack you.
Okay.
Listen.
I didn't think about saying that, but here, you go on.
All right. So the question I have is, I forgot. Jericho, you got me thrown off. So can the council vote a member of the council off?
Sure.
Okay, so that should have already 100% been done. So that in my opinion, that is character of the council. I don't know, and I'm just going to call it out. I don't know Mr. Weaver at all. He may be a great person, and maybe I only catch clips of him doing the worst things.
Right.
But I do catch clips of him doing the worst things, and he's not running for re-election. Right. Once, and this is very important for those that are listening, he's got that office till January.
Yeah.
May 19th doesn't save anybody. That's very important. May 19th does not save anybody. And I worry, why would not the council say, listen, these people are kind of making us look bad. Let's let them go. because I mean, there was another council member that said things out of pocket that probably shouldn't have said anything, and I think that if he would have just said, "Listen, I'm sorry, my head's not in the right space right now. I want to step down, take some time to myself," and maybe got into this election cycle, he would have been okay.
Yeah,
but he didn't. He stayed on. And it just seems like one of those things that if the council was really wanting to project that what they're wanting to do is move things forward, then they would get rid of the people, at least temporarily,
right,
that are giving them a black eye.
Yeah. So there was a lot to unpack with that, and if I missed something, let's go back and talk about it. But the first thing you asked, Paul, was can they vote another council member off? 100% they can. The same way that they tried to kick the mayor out back, was it September of 25? The same exact thing, right? So it's not a hearing. I know they tried to move it to a courtroom to try to make it seem like that they were, this was a lot more than what it really was. But in the meantime, it was a special meeting, is all it is. They have to do their research. They have to do, whatever investigation, they deem necessary. And from what I understand, they did it. They did everything they did, and then they voted. But it would be the same way for a current council member. In that situation, let's say that the five have come together and they want to kick one of them off. Basically, they do everything they did. Then they have a vote, and it would be a unanimous vote minus the one they're kicking off, because obviously they're not going to vote for themselves. Yeah. If that was the case, they would have just resigned, right?
Right.
So, yeah, they can. There seems to be unity there that is allowing them to feel like it's okay to protect each other, and then therefore it seems like the council is defending this bad behavior that you're talking about.
And that's really discouraging.
It is. It's awful. Yeah. And here's the thing, the bad behavior, I know especially for what you're talking about, it's been directed more towards women. Just saying anything like we've heard in the last couple of weeks to any member of the public. I don't care if it's a London City citizen, or let's say they go to Corbin or another county. If you're talking like that to anybody in the public, maybe we don't need you leading our city.
Yeah.
Maybe you should step away. I mean, even if you are having.
This really touches based on what I was going to say a few minutes ago.
Oh, you're welcome then.
Yeah. I mean, coincidental, you really started what I was going to lead into and you are talking about. But
that's what I'd say too.
Anyway, Ronnie, it's the truth. But when you're up there, city council member, every time they have these council meetings, they're in front of a crowd. Crowds draw in anxiety. Mm-hmm. Anxiety draws in stress. Yeah. That draws in anger. All them things leading together. And I'm not saying even Weaver or anybody else up there, he may be a good leader at something else, but not public leader. Yeah. He may have anxiety, which is going to lead to this anger.
And that's
he ran for mayor. Just so you know.
Oh well, then he's
he did not win the mayor race and got appointed to the city council. Is that correct?
His path is the wrong direction. Then he needs to go to Walmart DC.
There's all kinds of angry people there.
So,
is that
allegedly
hot dog thing?
I don't know.
Is that the hot?
That is. So, and last thing, Paul, that you mentioned that I 100% agree with this, and for what you were saying about, somebody in the past who had said some things and had done some things. I was a vocal critic of that person, saying you need to step down. And I think that everybody involved would have been better off if that person would have said exactly what you're talking about. I made a mistake. This isn't who I am. I'm better than this, and I'm going to go ahead and step down for this. I do plan on running again. If I'm in a better place and you feel like that you want me to lead, then please vote for me again. And that's valid. That's valid. I would rather somebody step up and admit their flaws.
Right.
Which is hard to do for a lot of people.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's easy for me to hold you accountable, but I'm not going to look at myself. But in the meantime, how about we just be honest and say, no, it's not good. I didn't mean it that way, but I know what happened. And because of that, I don't need this on.
It's extremely hard for people to talk about themselves and to admit their own flaws.
Sure.
Like I said, I think there could have been total redemption for that council member had they went about it that way. I mean, obviously, and I'm not taking up for the guy. Obviously, they could tell he wasn't in a clear state of mind.
Sure.
I think that's. I don't know that that's who he is, but just by listening to the audio that I think everybody's heard, he wasn't in a clear state of mind. If he could have apologized and resigned, because that's what he should have done immediately. He should have said, guys, you guys heard some really bad stuff. And that's my headspace right now. Obviously, if I'm saying that stuff, then I'm really not fit right now to do this. I'd like to revisit this later.
Sure.
There could have been redemption for that, but to stay on, even though he did make a post apologizing.
Yeah.
But that's not enough. It's not enough. You're not apologizing isn't going to make the situation better. You need time. You need time, and you should have taken time.
Yeah, and I think that not only did he need time, I think that, everybody in the public needed time.
Right.
I don't think that it's easy enough just to give, an apology, on Facebook or however it was delivered, and then to say, okay, well, everything's better the next day. That's not the case. That was a deep wound. That was a really deep wound that I think Tom really could have healed, and I think he could have came out a lot better than that, And I'm not saying that, okay, mistakes don't happen. You got to be perfect. No, that's not. None of us will be here if that's the case.
That's true.
But yeah, that kind of mistake you can't gloss over, act like it didn't happen. Then you got 5 of your buddies who are like, no, we're good with him being on here. We're not going to say a word about it. Mm-hmm. And I think that would have been a good
very good
for
step
everybody.
For the city council.
Sure.
Right.
If you want to show that, hey, listen, we don't want the drama. We don't want to be, looked at from all these different states. We don't want to be the laughing stock, and we want to move on in the right direction to heal. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and ask him to step down. We're going to do it nicely. We're going to talk about this in public, and we're going to let him know that, hey, get whatever it is together, and let us all heal. And then, you know what, you want to run again, run again. And then let people make that decision in the voting booth.
Dwayne's got a pretty good point that he threw in the chat there. How are you going to – what if those five council members get elected again and you have to work with them and you get elected?
Oh, I'm completely okay with that. First off, if the 5 get elected again and I happen to be the 6th, you'll see me up there. And if it doesn't make common sense, I'm not going to vote for it. I'm not gonna fall in line with whatever it is they're wanting unless it's something that's actually going to be moving the city forward. And I've said this before. We're going to look at things a few different ways. First off, is it legal? Second off, does it make sense for the majority of our folks? Just because it makes sense for one citizen, and it's not good for everybody else, doesn't mean we should do it. You can't give everybody what they want. You just can't.
So when the council votes on something, it has to be unanimous, right?
No. Nope. If the council is voting to remove a member of the council or the mayor, that has to be unanimous. Now, if they're voting on just normal stuff, then it's just a simple majority. So that means you've got 6 folks. You get split down the middle. You've got 3 yes, 3 no. Then at that point, the chair will be the tiebreaker, so that'll go to the mayor. Mm-hmm. But no, I wouldn't mind at all sitting up there with the current 5 that are running. I welcome the opportunity to maybe get to know why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but if 5 of them get voted back in and you're the 6th, mm-hmm. you're going to get sick and tired of trying to be that wall stopper. If majority vote will always win.
Sure. Absolutely.
Well, why do you think the others resigned or stepped down?
Yeah, that's why. So what will you do in that situation?
Oh, in that situation, I'm there. Unless something happens like it did with Kip, where it's my health.
So you're not just going to up and resign and say, I'm sick of this. I can't never do nothing.
And you know what? For that, same thing for even who ends up being the chair. So let's say that the mayor doesn't get reelected. Okay. So we're still doing business. It's simple,
right?
I didn't sign up for this to push another narrative. We're not doing
or to agree with everybody.
No, absolutely not.
It doesn't matter if it's a council member or mayor. If it's something you don't stand against, you're out.
No, and if I bring something up and somebody doesn't agree with it, I would really hope that they would ask me about it. I really hope that they would say, "Hey, this doesn't make sense. Why are you doing this?"
Then you say, I'm not doing it. They're doing it. I'm trying to stop them.
Well, and you know,
Is there a policy against that?
with what?
Like if you were in the middle of a council meeting and you're like, no, we're not doing that. And then as soon as the council member's over, you hit a live and you're like, listen, guys, I want to give you guys an explanation of why I voted against this tonight.
Right.
Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why aren't people doing that?
Because if they cared enough about real transparency to do that after the meeting, then they would probably be talking about it during the meeting. You know,
Well, hold on. Is that a bad thing? To talk about it during the meeting?
Oh gosh, no. That's what you want. And here's the thing.
You confused me the way you said that.
No, I'm sorry. If they cared enough though to actually give you something personal after the meeting, they would already been doing it during the meeting, and there would be no need for it. You know, so in that situation, if there was one person who just wasn't going along with it, and they felt like they needed to, you could absolutely do it for sure. Now,
I would feel obligated.
Yeah,
I would feel obligated to everybody else. Be like, all right, guys, I just wanted to get on Facebook tonight and let you know how the meeting went, why I voted the way I did against this. That way, at least it's people know you're standing on your own 2 feet. You know.
Yeah, and
you're just not moving.
I would love, and I've talked to several of the current council members after meetings, trying to get anything out of them. But I would love one person to break from rank and try that. I would love for one person, you know, and I talked to one of the appointed council members after one of the meetings.
See, he even thinks it. He don't realize he just said it. Break from rank.
Did I say it?
Yeah. You think that consciously. You think that.
Yeah, it feels that way. But I talked to one of them after one of the most recent meetings, you know, and he came up to me and he shook my hand. He said, I want to wish you luck in your race. And he seemed to be genuine. I don't have any reason to try to add in something that's not there. I'm not the one that's going to make a story because, I feel like, no, I don't care why he's doing it. He was, sure. I shook his hand and I said the same thing back to him. I said, I also wish you luck. And I said, I don't know if you want it or not, but I'd love to give you some advice. And you know what? He stood there and he said, sure, what do you got? I said, you're running for this seat and you have something that 13 of us don't have. You've got the opportunity to show the voters in London, Kentucky, what you're going to do if you win whenever the election comes around. I said, and you're not doing anything with it. And that upsets me. That upsets me a lot because I'm on here to make sure people know who I am. I'm on here to make sure people, you know, kind of hear what I have a vision for, what I'd like to do, things like that.
So don't make me mute JJ, please.
Do all of his votes count?
No. Just
you
one.
are number 4.
Yeah, you're number 4, but you've won the vote.
JJ can spam 4 all he wants.
But he can spam all he wants. It only counts once.
Yeah, it only counts once.
But it really hurts for someone who genuinely wants to get on there and try to make a difference and try to get us going in the right direction again, to see that we've got 4 people up there that were given the opportunity without being voted in, and this is what they're doing with it.
Well, I can tell you just this first hour has flown by, and everything you've said, you sound very passionate about wanting to be on here and wanting to make a difference.
Thank you.
I'm excited that he's on here too. Like,
yeah.
It all makes better sense when you have somebody that can explain it to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not trying to beat down the current city council. I'm only expressing what I see. And if it wasn't on every news feed that's in my file right now, then I probably wouldn't have so much to talk about. But it really is everywhere I turn. It's this side, this, and the council meeting was just earlier this week, right?
Yeah. We had a special called meeting a couple days ago, and then we had the regular one the first week of April.
So, I mean, not trying to beat down the council, and we've invited them on here. There was a moment that Kelly Green said that she would come on our show.
Yeah.
That was in mid-March. I reached back out to her, told her that we would love to have her on the show. And then I even mentioned her in the post that you replied to, saying that we've reached out to Rick Kaufman and we've reached out to Kelly Green. Exciting news is Rick Kaufman will be on this podcast for those of you listening.
Even though he called us the Sugar Podcast with
The Extra Sugar Podcast.
Yeah.
He will be on this podcast. We'll be releasing more dates about that tomorrow or more information about that. But we have invited the other city council on the show.
And
open invitation. Tracy Hanley's going to be here, and we'll talk to her a lot about the stuff that we wanted to talk to the mayor about, and a lot of stuff that her agenda was. I mean, we're not trying to beat down anybody in particular. However, we can only have conversations with people that come.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm venting a lot of my frustrations to the city council about you that I don't understand.
And that's fair. And here's, my take on it is I've been trying to not say negative things about the people that However, in the course of someone asking me what's going on and I try to explain it, it comes out negative because it's like, wait, you mean they don't say anything? They don't talk to you? They don't answer questions?
Well, it's hard to not say negative things about the current city council when they themselves make it appear to always be negative.
Yeah.
So at that, we're going to end right here. We're not ending the show. We're going on our little break. Go on a potty break. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, Johnny's going to be spinning the wheel.
The wheel of misfortune. Lucky.
All right, guys, it'll be about 5 or 6 minutes. Go ahead, get you a snack. We'll be right back.
The Great American Beater Bash, where memories are made and mistakes may happen.
Everybody needs to know May 2nd. That's Derby Day. Derby Day. Think Derby Day. Derby Day.
Let's
Derby
go!
Day. Influencer class, that's my shtick at this demolition derby that I'm doing. I'm bringing in some people in the entertainment space, if you will, to come and drive their first demolition derby. You can literally go out and buy a $500 shunt box that may have fourth gear out, whatever. You're not going to need it. And then you do a very basic preparation and bring it, and you pay $40 for a chance at $1,000.
Mortal Theory.
We've got concessions, and then the Wicked Wieners truck's going to be there slinging hot dogs, slinging some glizzies. Freeman Brothers is sponsoring a car. I've got Boom Bad Fireworks sponsoring a car. Charlie Mike's at Dispensary is sponsoring a car. Mortal Theory themselves is sponsoring a car. There's going to be a Mortal Theory car. The list goes on. If anybody wants to sponsor one of these cars, this is the deal. I am sourcing the cars, preparing the cars, and then having them painted. And then the influencer, which we can match influencers to sponsors. It's there's no real feasible reason not to come. Unless
That's what she said.
yeah, to come. But
Come join the event and invite all your friends.
come see me at the Great American Beater Bash, Litchfield, Kentucky, May 2nd. Grayson County Fairgrounds, where legends are made.
Located at 511 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, Sugar Booger's Custom Cakes has been bringing delicious treats to the Tri-County area for over a decade. Whether it be a cupcake, cookie, cake pop, brownie, or a signature one-of-a-kind custom cake that will be the star of any event, Sugar Boogers has you covered. Easy online ordering with polite, knowledgeable staff guaranteed to make each experience easy and stress-free. Go check them out on Facebook or give them a call for a free estimate. Sugar Boogers Custom Cakes for all occasions, 606-344-6595.
Are you looking for somewhere in Corbin, Kentucky to host your next event? Here we have it at Harvey's on Main at 115 Main Street. Let's check it out. Step into timeless charm and unforgettable elegance at this stunning historic venue. With breathtaking architectural details and an inviting open floor layout, Harvey's is the perfect setting for your next special event. Delight in the breathtaking bar complete with tap, a fully equipped kitchen for seamless catering, clean and accessible restrooms, a beautiful elevated stage for speakers, performers, or presenters. And for weddings and formal events, relish in the comfort and privacy of the bridal suite. Whether you're hosting an intimate gathering or a large celebration, Harvey's on Main provides the perfect scene to create lasting memories. Thoughtfully designed by the owner, who will be by your side every step of the way to ensure all your wants and needs are met. Book today and let Harvey's bring your vision to life.
Are you a jerky jerk?
You're holding it, right?
Yeah, I got it. Just give me 1 second.
RJ's Beef Jerky. Real jerky for real jerky jerks.
Can you give me a piece? Yeah, of course.
Kick off your boots, come gather round. We're digging up secrets that can't stay down. Bigfoot's out there in the midnight air. Aliens watching from who knows where. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, CIA. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. From small town whispers to city lights, we're hunting the truth in the dead of night. Conspiracies spin and the rumors fly. Country Cupid is gonna tell you why. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Footsteps in the woods, lights in the sky. Some call it crazy, we just ask why. Laugh if you wanna, but you just might see there's more to the world than they want it to be. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Truth or a tale, come and see. We're gonna have some fun, y'all.
In a world where feelings are protected and men have traded big, beautiful beards for man purses and man buns, comes to you a podcast you always wanted and never knew you needed. A podcast where feelings are left at the door and conversations happen unfiltered and no sugarcoating. What is going on, No Sugarcoating Podcast fans? Paul Buchanan wanted to reach out. The month of April is going to be full of candidates. We're going to see a lot of different people from a lot of different positions running, primarily in Laurel County and the surrounding areas. The No Sugarcoating Podcast crew wanted to let you know that we are by no means journalists. Do not come to our show expecting breaking news in regards to what's going on in the elections. We simply have discussions. We are not journalists. We are not a news show. We have discussions. We set our candidates in front of a screen where they can read the messages and they can answer the ones they want to. And we try to include the people watching's questions to the candidates. However, we're unable to get to all of them, and some of the questions the candidates cannot answer. They're just legally bound to not answering the questions. Again, and we can't make them tell the truth either, guys. So, just wanted to kind of let you guys know ahead of time. Hopefully, you'll see this before every episode of a candidate But yeah, guys, we're not a news crew. We don't pretend to be journalists. We have discussions. We try to bring out the best of everyone that comes here. We have no gotcha that we're trying to do to any candidate. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Have a great day.
What is going on? We are back. Everybody got their potty breaks in, got the smoke breaks, whatever you want to do. We'll go ahead and start it off. Let's get the wheel out of the way. The wheel of misfortune. See, that's why it's called the misfortune. That big sigh you just done.
Yep.
All right. So like we tell everybody, you have to spin the wheel.
Okay.
Whatever it lands on, you can choose to do it or eat beans. So I'll hold it for you.
There's a lot of beans over there.
We'll hold her steady. That was a sissy spin.
He says it all the time.
It's probably
Do your-
smudge dust.
Do your best impression of someone in the room.
Oh, wow. Just so you know, Anthony, we are going to have Tracy Hanley on the show on Monday and Rick Kaufman. And I have a date that he's going to be on the show that I'll be sharing tomorrow on the page. So we will have both of those folks on.
We have nasty beans
Yeah.
and hot beans.
So
you can do
Listen.
impersonation.
I'm going to... The beans are sketchy. I'm going to do a hot bean. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do a hot bean.
I mean, you could have done an impression. You said you've been doing your research.
So Ronnie says that I could have done an impression because I've been doing my research. I don't know if I've got Ronnie down good enough, but I do hope that someday I'm as cool a guy as Ronnie is, and maybe I get to come on here and talk to these guys again because I have absolutely been doing my research, Ronnie.
If you want to hear Ronnie, if I was giving a Ronnie impression, it would be like, but wait. He says that all the time. But wait.
No.
Like he tries to kind of slow it down so he can get in what we left over or what we left on the table.
Yeah.
I don't think.
He's
I
like,
don't
but
think-
wait.
Oh, I don't think Ronnie realizes either, though. He says right a lot also.
I say right a lot.
Well,
So I don't pay attention to it
You
either.
do, don't you?
But I noticed, too, though, Jericho's picking
We're
up
just going to rag on everybody.
Jericho's picking up that
That finger?
That finger. You're picking that finger now. Once he called
Listen.
Paul out, he started going, listen. Listen.
It's just things we pick up from each other.
It's, of course, the listen part came from JJ. So it's listen.
Oh, that's
listen.
great.
So,
All right, hot bean time.
I think you got one of the
lighter ones.
lighter ones.
Yeah, I think
it's fine. It's fine. No. Go ahead.
Listen, let's
No.
Well, that's habanero.
This Vanessa Miller lady is calling me out, wanting some Tabasco. I knew she'd do that. So let's get something. Let's get something hot.
All right, so I'll let you grab that red one right there.
Oh, you're not even letting
This
me.
Vanessa lady.
You don't want to touch it.
His wife.
He knows her.
I had a feeling she'd be like, you're taking the cheap way out by doing that. I did tell him I had zero desire in doing the nasty beans. So the hot ones, I'll
You know what you can do? Then you can just take that habanero and put it in your pocket and take it home for Miss Vanessa. That way she can.
Yeah, Paul says this one's yours, but
So that one is Carolina Reaper.
That was a warm one.
oh gosh.
Yeah, it creeps up on you.
Oh no, I was laughing at that comment there about my
Oh.
granddaughter saying it's not hot enough either. Oh yeah, it does creep up on you.
It gets you.
And the more you chew it, the hotter it gets.
Yeah, we're gonna open this thing wide open. We're not gonna just swallow it like this. Look at shit.
I get the hiccups. Doing those things.
Hot stuff don't give me hiccups, but gosh mighty, you talking about runny nose and stuff. Whew.
So, I was on a work trip one time, and just me and a few guys, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'd got some of the hotter wings,
Like those atomic ones or whatever.
yeah,
it is?
whatever it was, something like that. And I hadn't been there in a long time, and apparently they have changed their recipe. This was maybe last year or something, and my friends actually called my wife and let them know that I was sweating. I couldn't eat more than 2. So I normally love hot stuff. That one was a little warm, but yeah, she got a good laugh out of that one. Then they were just happy to make some fun of somebody, so it worked out.
So he knew coming in. He's like, "I'm taking them hot beans. I ain't worried. I ain't sweating that wheel."
Acting like that. I hate to do this.
All right. So now we open it up to the folks for questions, and while we wait for the questions to come in, we try to ask some of our own.
Sure.
So let me ask you, what is your agenda? I mean, do you have anything that you'd really like to achieve while you're on the council? Do you have goals or plans that you're really shooting for if you were to win the election?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that this is probably something that needs to be asked of anybody who's not currently serving on whether it's the council or the mayor, sheriff, whoever. If they're running for something and you're not there, you need to have some sort of an agenda. And first thing is let's get back to doing business for the city, and whether that means that we gotta pass a quick ordinance that says, hey, when you're up there, your phone goes away. Make sure that what you're focusing on is only what's in front of you, and you're actually interacting with the people that are there and that voted you in. There's a lot of stuff that's been passed ordinance-wise, resolution-wise, all kinds of different things like that have really just muddied the water on what kind of authority the council actually has. So there'll be a lot to clear up that way. So if there's some things that were passed that's not in the best interest, we'll probably have to go back and amend those. Once we get all that cleared up, because in my opinion, it's a mess. In the opinion of a lot of people that I'm talking to, it's a mess. So once we get all that cleared up, now we have to look at the fact that we've got old ordinances out there. So okay, we're past cleaning up what we think isn't working right now. So now let's go ahead and start back at ground zero, and then we can go ahead and say we're going to make things better. We're going to update this. We're going to make sure that we're ready to grow, because unfortunately you can't say, okay, well, this is what we need for 2026 and then expect that to work for 2030. So we need to look to the future. We need to get the city ready to grow. That way we're not surprised whenever we put everything in place to grow.
Was there any current ordinances that's been in place, let's say, for the past 10 years that you feel needs to be changed?
Yeah. There's just a quick one off the top of my head was, just one with current, building inspector rules. The building inspector got up there, and this was sometime last year. I can't remember the day or what meeting it was, but he was talking about how, the current fees for building inspecting, they don't actually pay for the job. They're so outdated that, okay, if we're really going to say we're not going to go in the hole for this, and we don't have to get rich off of these fees, but you have to be able to pay the person that's going to come out and do it. You have to be able to pay for the gas money and all that stuff. So there's just little things like that they're old. You don't look at something for 30 years. Let's base our gas prices off of 30 years ago. We're going to go in the hole because they don't compare.
That's true.
Now, is there a place that the public can go see all the ordinances that have been put in or when they've been put in?
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Votes on that?
Yeah. So the London city website, I believe it's londonky.gov. If I've got that one wrong, I'll put it out there on my Facebook page later to correct it. But the London city website does have a place where you can go to see the ordinances. You can see all the meetings that have happened. I know JJ had put out a number whenever he was on here about how many meetings we had last year. And if you do the math, well, there's 12 months. You didn't meet once a month. If it's not more than 12, something's up. And I think he said something, was it 35, something like that? All of those are out there. You can see the meetings. You can see the agendas. You can see the minutes from the previous meeting, who voted, how they voted, and everything like that. That way, if you really want to see what's going on, it's all been captured, and you never have to guess, oh, I think this happened. No, it's all there.
All right, we got questions pouring in now.
Yep.
Yeah. So any thoughts on expanding city limits down 192 to annex the barrel storage that's damaged people's homes, and it's getting on fire and police department and the city's dime?
So, as William's talking about, where we've got the new barrel storages down there, and there's been some talk about, some mold issues and some things like that. I haven't really thought much about, annexing that far. I think this could be one of those situations where if we were going to bring up something for an election, let's let the people vote. Let this be a county thing. If we're going to talk about annexing, it may be worth actually bringing in, more opinions than just the 6 people, because I don't have a stake in it either way.
Yeah.
If somebody up there did and they tried to influence, maybe more than one council member,
if
go sideways.
You probably don't know, but if it did annex in, if you did extend it out that far, what would that do for the city?
So the biggest gain for the city that way, I don't know if there would be any sort of extra taxes that would come in just from having the barrel storage in town, but just by gaining the extra homes inside city limits, we're going to gain extra. I don't want to use the word perks, but we're going to gain extra things that certain city sizes just can't get. So as you're looking at it, just imagine that there's things out there for small cities, and then maybe there's some things out there for a medium-sized city, and then maybe a large city. But in the meantime, if we're stuck on one, we're just not going up to that other one. So there is a gain for actually having more citizens inside city limits.
But wouldn't there be a loss?
Let's let the people ask some questions, Jericho.
Well, it's the same. Okay. All right. I'm passing on.
Yep.
What is your opinion of the current ethics board situation? Do you think they should be appointed and confirmed, or should they be made up of an independent third party?
So I think the ethics board was kind of once again like the KRS laws that we were talking about, where they were never intended to be used as a weapon. But I think that's where we're at now. I think that anybody who actually has a true want to do things ethically and to do things without an agenda involved, and it be right down the middle, I think you have to want a third party ethics board right now. And there was actually that brought up in a council meeting where the mayor knew that they weren't going to agree. The council had been fighting him, saying that they did have some members. He was fighting, saying they didn't have members. And either way, the members that the council members said that were there, they weren't doing anything. They were receiving ethics complaints and nothing was happening. So he said, hey, how about we give this to an outside agency that actually handles ethics boards for all kinds of communities. And it was crickets. It was dead in the water. The council had no appetite for it. And to me, that just drives any sort of a conspiracy theory of, hey, they've got an agenda. They don't want somebody to hold them accountable, because it wasn't that the mayor said, hey, we're only going to have this ethics board for you guys. No, it's for everybody, him included. So you know what? If you don't trust me and I don't trust you, well, we're going to get somebody that doesn't know either one of us. Let's let them make the decision.
And if there's a company out there that's all they do is handle ethics for other companies, I would say they're pretty darn good.
Well, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
So we skipped Anthony Morgan's first question because I don't know what business you have talking about the mayor.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to put you in the situation. Anthony, that's the reason why we skipped the question.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with.
I didn't see what it was.
He asked what's your opinion about the mayor.
What's your opinion on the mayor's race and Weddle's indictments and criminal history?
Yeah. So the mayor race is a completely different race than I'm running. I wish all 3 of the candidates best of luck. I hope that if there's anybody that's interested in that race and they had an opportunity to ask those questions, whether it be from the mayor or Tracy Hamley, who's going to be here, was it Monday she's coming? Yep. Then, they can ask those questions to Tracy, as far as.
Because that's her race.
Sure. And you know what? I appreciate the fact that she's coming on here and giving folks the opportunity to ask questions.
Me too.
There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But that's about all the opinion I have on the mayor race.
Yeah, I didn't see a point in touching.
I didn't either. But
I appreciate.
But you're like, hey, I didn't see it, so I was okay.
Yeah. Not trying to skip over anybody's whatsoever.
Anthony Morgan again, are you in support of passing an ordinance keeping the city police from going outside the city limits like how they did in the Doug Harless case?
Okay, that could be relevant.
That's
I don't
absolutely
think you can though.
So
yeah,
I appreciate that, Ronnie. I don't mind one bit to touch on this one. You know, the first thing I want to say is that was horrible. I don't think there's anybody that can look at the situation and be happy with how it turned out.
No one's happy.
So with that being said, you know, how can we make sure that this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen? And to Ronnie's point, I don't know that an ordinance would stop that, because that's actually KRS. So the thing with Kentucky revised statutes, Kentucky laws, a lower ordinance cannot supersede that.
Right, that comes from Frankfurt.
It comes from Frankfurt, and you know, as bad as the situation was, do we want to make sure that the bad guys do have a way to get away if they're in the city and all of a sudden they've crossed into the county line and the city cops have to wait for a sheriff to show up?
I always thought that was like kind of a thing of the past, where all we got to do is cross the state line or the county line and we're clear free.
Yeah.
You know, and this isn't in support of any shooting to anybody.
Not at all.
But there's a comfort to know that, hey, listen, that pursuit's going to continue.
Yeah.
And in that case, and maybe that case alone, I'm okay with the city going outside into the county in a pursuit situation.
Sure, absolutely.
Outside of that,
for warrant serve,
city probably needs to keep their ass in the city.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Sure.
And that's just what I said that one day.
Only pursuit.
If Corbin got in a pursuit right here in town.
Yep.
I can understand them staying on that guy's tail until London. Until London was able to swoop in and take over and relieve Corbin.
Yep. So and I'm with you 100%. You know, I think that a good way to look at it would be, okay, what severity are we talking about? How quick do we need to move somebody in?
Right.
You know, and I'm not a police officer. I don't know London City Police, Corbin City Police, KSP. I don't know any of their policies. You know, I know KRS, and you know, unless something changes in Frankfurt, it's legal.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You know, and it sucks. It shouldn't have happened. But in the meantime, I can't imagine anybody being happy about the outcome.
With the Doug Harless case, though, aren't they trying to pull that in for an internal investigation? The city council?
The city council. So part of this resolution that they passed earlier this week, the 2026-08, I believe, did have some of that in there. And that's concerning in itself, just because I think it was the March meeting. You know, if it wasn't March, it was February, but it was one of the earlier meetings this year. It wasn't very long ago. It was brought up that, you know, hey, we do need an investigation into this. I know that it went to KSP. I know it went in front of the grand jury, but how about we get somebody, you know, completely unassociated with anyone to look at it? And that was brought forward to the council, and the council just didn't have an appetite for it. And that, once again, that goes back to the ethics board thing. If you've got an opinion and I've got an opinion, and we're butting heads with it, let's get somebody who's not associated with either of us. Let's let them look at it.
Right.
You know, if it's got to be somebody on the other side of the world, it'll be worth it, especially in a situation like this, because this is horrible.
You know what?
People need answers. The family needs answers.
London City is sardines to that council right there.
Yeah.
They're wanting lobster, and they can't handle the sardines that they're living in.
I don't even know the analogy he just made.
That's good.
I don't know what that means.
Sardines suck. They're nasty.
I don't even know what that means.
And that's what the London City Council thinks of their own community. It's just a bunch of sardines.
Well, we can't say what they think, Jericho. But.
In my opinion, guys, that's my opinion.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
From the outside looking in, that's what it seems like.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it just there could be a lot of healing that would be done if we would just say, okay, you know what, I have an opinion, you have an opinion, let's get a third party involved.
Yeah, there needs to be a third party investigation on it.
And you know, that is a leading question for me, is, you know, if they, how long would it take you to be able to get your hands back on Laurel County. Like, it feels like anybody that gets elected to these positions are already working 3 steps behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you've got to then rebuild the city's trust. Then you've got to go back and try to correct these ordinances or these amendments or these things that are going on. So you're already 3 steps behind before you even accept the job. How long do you think that would take you to correct?
Oh, that, I wholeheartedly think it's going to take the full 2 years of the term. And I think that's where we need, 6 people that are of the same goal.
Yeah. So Dwayne has been commenting quite a lot here, and he just recently. So are you saying that the city council doesn't need to see if police followed city policy?
No, I'm not saying that at all, Dwayne. I'm saying that they have absolutely have overreached their authority in the ways that they're trying to get some of this. Because there are things that they're asking that they just don't have the power to ask for. KRS 83A.130 subsection 13 was referenced a whole lot in this new resolution they put out earlier this week. And it does allow the city council to do investigations on city employees for their normal job duties. But they've put a lot of stuff out there that really muddies the water. And the problem with that is some of it is some stuff that's in litigation right now.
And if it's in litigation, it really can't be spoke about until it's done, right?
You give somebody who thinks that they have all this authority that they don't. And now all of a sudden they're flexing it like they can make you give out information that's in the middle of litigation, and they just can't.
Yeah.
It's normal.
So that can't be spoke about until that litigation is done.
Absolutely.
Let me just say, because my wife's in my ear all the time about this, and if I don't mention it tonight, she's going to say something. Why is there all this talk about, and you may not be able to speak to this. Let me just say, you may not be able to speak to this. But why is there no talk about the acting police chief during the Doug Harless shooting?
Yeah, I've never heard him brought up yet.
Why is there no talk about him?
I brought it up on here when I said somebody had to make the call, and that goes all the way up to the chief.
And it's because a lot of people are like, Whittle's responsible for that, but they never mention.
Well,
I couldn't tell you right now. I could tell you the officers' names. I could tell you all kinds of stuff about but I couldn't tell you the chief of police's name.
Right. And you're right. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. And I don't want to add to finger pointing. First off,
okay.
Second off, the reason I don't want to add to finger pointing is because it's just going to paint me in a way that says, well, he's just covering for this or he's covering for that. But in the meantime, I don't see anything where the mayor could have had his finger or pointed his finger or
right.
had the finger pointed at him too.
Well, we asked that question of the mayor when he was here, and that's what I asked him. I said, "Aren't you over the city police?" He said, "Technically, but I have a chief of police for a reason."
And just talk about my normal life. I'm not the head manager at my building where I work at right now. He doesn't know everything that some of the lower managers do because that's not what he's paid to do. Same thing as the mayor.
I've been corrected several times. He was not the acting chief.
No. At the time, it was.
He was the
actual chief. Yeah.
Yep. I apologize, guys.
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, know that the mayor doesn't know every little thing that cops are doing during their normal business. He would never get anything done if he had to have a report for every time somebody pulled somebody over. Every time, and once again, I'm not defending the situation. It was a horrible situation, but in the meantime, there's just a lot of details that, I didn't go to law school. I didn't go to training to be a police officer.
Well, now that I say that, I realize it's completely out of pocket to ask you. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know. Like I said, my wife has been in my ear. She's like, why is this not being talked about?
Well, because he fled. So, and that's the thing is he's not available for answer.
Well, what's your opinion on that, Ronnie?
My opinion?
Yeah.
Allegedly. My thoughts?
Yeah.
You don't.
No. Let's not do that.
If you're an innocent man,
I mean, if you got complete transparency,
can I put words in your mouth for a second?
I'd be right here.
I think that what Ronnie's trying to say is there's probably a few questions out there that really need to be asked.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to say we did see files, we did see evidence, we saw all kinds of stuff, but we've still got questions.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? This just seems fishy. Maybe we need to ask this question.
Yeah, and it's all it is people need the answers, and there's a lot of questions, and we get a lot of flack. You guys don't ask these questions.
Yeah.
I don't have the evidence to be able to come at anybody.
No.
Now, if you have the evidence, send me the evidence, and I'll bring it up.
That's why I say my opinion a lot, because I don't have evidence.
Right.
Now, if I had hard facts and I could throw them up on that screen for everybody watching right now to see,
Right.
I would not say this is my opinion.
Right, like Rick Kaufman's got a bunch of documents and stuff, and there's other guys that's got a bunch of documents and videos and things, and they're always on us about not asking stuff, but I don't have that stuff. I'm not in London. I really don't have a dog in that Laurel County fight. I live in Whitley County. So
to me, that says, okay, you know what? Let's talk to Ronnie, because that's what we need. We need some folks that don't have a dog in the fight. Let's see what.
But now Doug Harless, everybody has a dog in that fight.
Absolutely.
That's an innocent man that got shot, and there's a lot of questions.
So let's move back to the questions. Sorry that we got way down that road.
Nothing to be sorry about.
Doug Harless is a hot topic for
it. Is a hard topic, and everybody wants to kind of
there's got to
pin
be
it on this
justice
person, and again. So with that said, how? Now I did ask this before, but I just want to kind of get into it a little deeper. Melissa Jones said it'd just take you maybe 3 meetings to fix all the backups.
Yeah.
Which I've seen about 30 meetings that nothing's got done.
Right.
So I mean, 3 meetings would be pretty quick to get things turned around.
Well, that's if you've got 6 new people.
I appreciate the optimism. I'm more of a realist, and just looking at it, when I say, it's probably going to take 2 years, it's because that, first off, there is some stuff to clean up. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, once we clean it up, the job's not done.
Right.
You still need to be moving forward. So let's say that we do set out a plan and we can achieve that plan in 3 meetings. Well, if we don't have any special called meetings, we got nine meetings left that year. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So there'll always be something, and you know what? There should always be something. It should be, okay, you know what? This is the best we've ever done. How do we do better? How do we do better?
Well, and I say too, you got an idea of the path you want to go. But until you actually get elected and you get in there and you get to see documentation and stuff that you didn't know of before, that's going to deter a lot of things.
Yeah, it's like
it's going to change your plan that you thought you had.
We were all kids riding our bike down a hill, and we didn't see that rock, and we got through off course big time.
Yep.
I imagine there'll be some rocks on this hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
During the break, I told me.
That leads me to this. How vindictive do you think the council will be if they don't get elected? Like we were talking about before, May 19th just means change is happening in January.
Right.
A lot of ordinances, a lot of things can happen in 7 months.
Yep.
How I mean, can you even make a?
Yeah, I have an opinion on that, and once again, it's just an opinion. Obviously, we can't prove anything until it actually happens. But I'm more of a pattern kind of guy. So if I look back at the previous meetings and I see that, they had the opportunity to do good, knowing that at least 5 of these folks are running again, and this is how they chose to spend their time. If none of the 5 made it past May 19th, I have to imagine that it's not going to be good for us. I have to imagine that there'll be a lot more rocks going down that hill than we were originally planning on. And I'd love for it to be oh well, you know what, we're not winning, so we're just going to play nice now. But
I don't see that happening.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
Yeah, they're not going to throw rocks. They're going to be throwing boulders. Yeah, they're going to make it real hard on you.
Yep.
In your opinion.
So somebody asked a few minutes ago, what's your opinion on all these special meetings getting called right in the middle of the day?
Oh, goodness gracious. So thankfully, I do work a job where I can take a lunch break at a weird time. I do work a job where, if I need to take half a day, I took a half a day for the special meeting this week just because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't
tied
up and I wasn't, shirking my real job. Because in the meantime, I'm just a normal person that's working. I'm not looking for this to be a job. You can't live off of what you make for this. But in the meantime, whenever you keep getting these meetings in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, just randomly, you have to imagine that they're just trying to keep people from showing up to these meetings. And if it's really that important, if whatever it is they're trying to push is really that important, how about you hold off till the evening so more people can show up and actually be involved in it? Let's be truly transparent. Let's let the people that elected, somebody in one of the comments was talking about how many were elected. Yeah, there's only 2 elected right now. The other 4 are appointed. But regardless, how about we let the people that are involved in this, let them see what you're doing. Don't try to hide because, normal people are working during the day. That's obviously a play. Maybe we have 1 or 2 because you have to, but in the meantime, you got 30-some meetings last year.
Well, I'm going to ask a stupid question.
No.
But ain't city council meetings for the public?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
The ones that aren't behind closed doors, like they have a lot of
yeah,
closed door meetings.
well, ain't these special meetings still public?
Yeah, they're still public. They're still
Okay.
open meetings. There are times, certain conditions where you can have a closed meeting. It's called going into executive session, and there's a really particular set of circumstances to make that happen, and that's not what these are.
So what would happen, or what does happen, when a meeting's held that is for the public,
Right.
and no one shows up?
Oh, they can still have it then, as long as they've announced the meeting, and they've done their due diligence with a special called meeting. They do have to put the agenda out. Like I said with KRS, they were kind of playing more by the letter of the law than the spirit of the law when they said they didn't have to put the agenda out for the regular called meeting. But in the meantime, if you want people to think that you're being transparent, then just be transparent. Do everything that you have to do above and beyond to show that this is an open meeting for the public. Don't do everything that you can to keep people away.
I like that.
You okay if I read that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anthony Morgan talking about asking if the entire council election will be determined in May. It won't be. I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually a huge message that I've been telling a lot of people. May 19th is crazy important. It's crazy important because there's a lot of elections out there that won't make it till November. Okay, so you've had a couple, 3 candidates so far. You'll have the 4th candidate for sheriff on there. The sheriff race won't make it till November. It's going to be decided in May. Now, for these nonpartisan races, that's going to be the city council race, the one that I'm in. That'll also be the mayor race. The only reason that we have a primary for this in May is because of the amount of people that are running, right? So the answer, going the long way around, is for this race specifically, we're going to get it down to 12 people in May, and then those 12 people will go on to the general election in November.
Yeah.
But
I'd like Tammy Smith's question right there. That's what kind of time limit do you feel is fair for a member of the public to speak during council meetings?
Yeah, Tammy, that's a super good question, and I'll be honest with you, I'm really split down the middle. There's part of me that would love to say that every single person that's there could have an unlimited amount of time to speak. That's the kind part of me that says, hey, I want to listen to everybody. I want to hear what you got to say. I don't want you to think it's not important, because I do. But then when you get down to it, you just can't do that.
No, you got to limit it.
You got to limit it. I think that they're doing the least amount they can right now, trying to keep it at 2 minutes. I think that 5 might be the upper limit, I would say. But I would say honestly 3 to 5.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, 3 to 5. You give people a chance to say what they need to say, but they can't ramble on to the point where you just you're going to be there all.
The chair normally does that with the Congress and sets a
I was watching
3-minute limit most of the time.
I was watching a council meeting yesterday, and they was giving people 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty lengthy, but
it depends on how many people is there and what they're talking about, probably. So.
Yeah, and maybe to Ronnie's point, that could be something. Maybe it's a time limit that's triggered by the amount of people that have signed up. So let's say that we have a sign up sheet like they're doing right now, and I don't mind that at all. There's certain things you can and can't do, whatever. But in the meantime, if we know ahead of time that only 2 people are going to want to speak at the end, then okay, yeah, we'll give you a couple extra minutes. Because we're not trying to cut you off. We don't need to limit the people from being able to talk. We can't actually give everybody.
Heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
You made a remark there. There's things that you can and can't do. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So there'd been some talks before about trying to gather people's addresses and have them show proof that they lived inside the city limits and stuff. You can't do that. As far as asking them to sign up before they speak, sure, you can do that. That's fine. And that's okay. It's not that you're targeting anybody. You're trying to plan for the meeting. You're trying to make sure everything's going on. But when you start, kind of getting out of pocket and saying, "Hey, prove to me where you're from. Show me your license." No, that's silliness. Mm-hmm. No reason for that.
A lot of people are asking about, can the city reject paying for the council's attorneys? Do you know if they can reject it?
I don't know the avenue that you would take for that. My first overall answer would be I just don't know. When I'm thinking about it though, I'm like, okay, I don't know, of course, where somebody could do that. So they have to file an invoice with the city, and if everything is in line, then I'm sure that it'd be just like a normal situation with a business to a customer. You either pay the invoice or they do what they do with it. But I don't know how we as citizens could be like, no, we're not paying for that because we don't want it.
Was that something would that be something that you would change? Like having that lawyer there every single meeting?
Absolutely. We've got, and I'd seen somebody ask the question about, is Larry Bryson the city attorney? We've got a city attorney. We don't need a council attorney. The city attorney works for the council, and he doesn't sit up there and answer the questions. He sits up there to be, basically like a mentor. If I'm in territory that I don't understand, his job is to make sure that I don't say something crazy that's going to get the city, in some sort of problem, that risk analysis that Ronnie was talking about.
You're right. So I'd be like the Larry Bryson of this podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wasn't it you the last podcast that we had to do a disclaimer on?
So you're against having a lawyer there every
meeting.
meeting.
City already has an attorney.
Yeah.
Right.
There's 2 attorneys sitting.
Right.
Yeah, I have no desire to be sitting up there with a lawyer that, especially one that the city doesn't want. The residents of the city didn't say, yeah, we approve you using our tax dollars to sit up there, and
because he probably ain't cheap.
No. And
do you know, didn't somebody just share how much they were charging the city?
Yeah, the invoices have been coming out, just sporadically, so they've kind of been, just boom, boom, whatever. And I think it's something like maybe $200 an hour.
Jay Money's calling me out in Redneck Brawl here.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
So I'm too old, Jay Money, but we're here.
All right, that's $200 an hour though. That's
yep.
That adds up. Especially with all the meetings that they've had.
Well, when you start doing the math on the meetings that, like I said, JJ was the one that put the number out there. I've not checked on it. It felt like, probably 100 last year, but 35 sounds reasonable. That's a lot of tax money.
A lot. Yeah. Wow.
Tessa, you're right. I have been to these meetings. I've probably missed, less than 5 over the last couple of years. I think that the mayor has done the best job that he could given the opposition that he's had. I think that, when you look at it, this current city council has done everything they can to keep him from doing anything that would move the city forward. Now, in the meantime, let me put this out here. If he was doing something that they didn't agree with, they should talk about it. But the only problem is they won't even talk about. They shut down and don't do any business at all. Business starts with communication. Just like we're talking here right now. we're going to sit here and we're all going to have our opinions, but instead of us moving forward and saying, okay, well, you know what, I don't think like that, we'll just shut up. How long would your podcast last if none of us talked?
5 minutes.
I tell you what, we go on a 7-minute break and lose 20 people.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we do every show.
We gain them back.
We get them back.
That's it. They go on their pee break too. So.
But yeah, I just don't I don't understand that, and I hate that for the city, because it seems like I've seen something that there was tens of thousands of dollars charged to the city to excess attorney fees or for attorney fees. And, you get to thinking, you're like, man, that's a playground.
Yeah.
That's a start to a playground. That's fixing a playground. That's fixing a road. That's
finishing the sidewalk expansion projects that, have been fantastic. We, an older city, maybe your sidewalks aren't ADA compliant. Well, we've been tearing them up and making them wide enough that you could actually fit a wheelchair on, that you could actually, fit 2 people walking side by side without, feeling weird about it. But in the meantime, we're spending this money on something that nobody asked for. You're right. It's a waste.
Well, I mean, it just seems like the council would confide into the attorney that they already have if they had issues.
Especially whenever you have an attorney like Larry Bryson, who is fully versed in municipal law. Not every attorney practices the same kind of law, and that's okay. We have so many special areas out there in our lives that we need people that are experts in one area. We don't need a jack of all trades to sit here and say, well, you know what, I feel like this is good, let's do this. And you know what the crazy part is Larry is still trying to give this council really good advice. He's trying to tell them, hey, listen, this isn't what you think it is. Let's maybe look at that. And it's even come to the point where he's done that when they have clearly been trying to target either him or the mayor, or in some cases even the city.
I seen the video, and this is, again, just damaging videos. And maybe that's because the only thing people want to take is bad videos or damaging videos. But there was a video that just surfaced maybe a week ago of Weaver in Bryson's face, and the mayor saying, get out of his face, Juddy. That was on the video. It's like, there's got to be some bridge. There's got to be something. And I that's what makes me worry so much about London, is how, in Laurel County, is how, how long does it take to build it back? The public trust, the relationships with everybody. Because again, at the end of the day, it's a job. You do it and you go home. You're not supposed to take it personally. You do it, you go home. Can you please everybody? Not at once. No. But you can please everybody in time, And it's worrisome.
No, I agree. Some of these actions we're seeing, just like you're talking about with just disrespecting somebody. I don't care if it's the city attorney or a citizen of London. It's gross.
That's a really good question. If elected, what would be an achievement for all of London you would work to move forward?
That's a really good question. I'd love to tell you that I've got some ultimate goal that hey, this is my soapbox and this is the one thing that I'm running on. I don't have that currently. I'm not saying I won't have something like that by November, but I can tell you that the first thing is we need to heal. I want to get the city talking again. I'd love to be a community where we can come out and we can be around each other and we can talk about things that aren't divisive, but in the meantime, I don't have, hey, this is my crown. This is going to be the baby that gets me to, I just don't have that. My goal is just to start making things better.
And what do you think about Jay Money?
It's Jay Dollar. He can't make up his mind whether he's vice mayor or Jay Dollar. It depends on if he's in jail or not.
I love that guy.
He admittedly said he's had a couple drinks before watching the show.
Word is he may have one of my signs out in the county in his yard, and
did he write gay on it?
He didn't. I don't know if anybody else did or not. I would assume if it happened, it wasn't him. But I have got to know this guy over the last couple of years, and yeah, he's something else.
He is like wild. Like we've enjoyed him on the show, and then he makes a post about us.
Yeah, dog
being too soft or something like that, and it's like, let's reposition our priorities of Jay Money right now.
Yeah. So it's I don't know whether Jay's for us or against us now. So.
I don't know.
He'll let you know.
His dollar bill might be two-faced.
If you put it out there like that, he's probably about to let you know what he really meant about that. So I've never known him to hold back any of his thoughts for them. That's all right.
That's good.
All right. So if you had 2 minutes, to everyone listening right now, what would you want them to know about you?
So 2 minutes. Anybody that's willing to listen to me, first off, my name is Johnny Miller. I've been a resident of Laurel County my entire life. I grew up here, graduated from North Laurel. My kids went to South Laurel. That's probably about as split as you could be. I've had blue and green and red and black in my closet for years, and I don't see that. I had friends on both sides of it. I've got friends right now that I don't agree with, and I've got friends that sure don't agree with me. And I say the word friend intentionally because my goal, first off, is just to communicate with people. You've got an opinion, let's hear it. You want to hear mine, I'd love to share it with you. A big heart has got me in trouble before, but I love people, and unfortunately, we've got into a place where that's not the norm right now. People aren't wanting to talk, and when people do want to talk, maybe they feel threatened. If nothing else, maybe being on here might have showed you that there's nothing threatening about me. Sometimes I'm too laid back. My wife helps me even that out, and sometimes she's a little gung-ho, so I even her out. We're a really good match in that way. And with that, I want a chance to be able to help people communicate. I want a chance to get up there and hey, if I don't agree with something, you're going to know why. It's not going to be a no, we're not doing that. And if you want to ask me why I do agree with something, you deserve that answer too. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
So this time next year, if you're elected and people start playing clips from this back at you, we can hold you accountable to everything you said. You're going to be doing that exact. If you don't agree, you're going to say it out, be transparent.
Yeah.
We're going to make those changes.
Yeah. And I would hope that if what I've said isn't the case, that these clips sure would come back in my face. It's real easy to kind of try to hold somebody accountable when you don't agree with them, but let's start with ourselves.
Right.
I'm good with that, Ronnie. That's an awesome question.
Yep.
Sweet enough. Now we have our 3 questions.
Oh.
Aliens. Do you believe in them?
Wow, he just jumps right in, no lead up or nothing anymore.
Look, if you've not been watching, then you weren't ready for that. But I'm 100% ready for that. And my wife's probably like, "This is where you're going to lose everybody. Just don't talk about this stuff."
You have to on here.
Oh, I'm so ready. I believe in aliens. I absolutely believe in it.
Do you have you ever seen anything that?
The only thing that I can think of that I've seen, I remember being a little kid in the back of the car, and it was nighttime. And I'd seen a weird cloud do something, and I couldn't even describe it. It's been so long ago. I couldn't describe what that cloud did.
Okay.
But it wasn't cloud-like, and I don't even know if I knew what an alien was at the time. But in the meantime, I remember knowing that it wasn't normal, and now it's so funny to see that if the government, the big government, they need to hide something, now all of a sudden we're about to release some alien news.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let's just do it. Just everybody quit with the just wait and see. No, let's do it now. Show us the aliens.
Couldn't agree more. government, city council, we're done with waiting and seeing.
Yeah. See, Paul is pro alien.
Oh, I am too. I believe in aliens. I think they're real. And I swear I've seen a UFO. But past that,
Okay.
the paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in ghosts.
That was quick.
Have you ever seen any?
There's a story.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
Yeah, no,
So-
listen, during COVID, and I probably had a few, little experiences before then, remember like a lamp doing something crazy when we were kids in the house that my great grandfather lived in. And we always said, oh, that was him. You know how it is. That's the normal response. But during COVID, we were just trying to do stuff to get out of the house. The city was doing some cool stuff with, hey, we're going to do this. I think they did a Bigfoot hunt. We didn't get to go on, but we did get to go on a ghost hunt. They had it in the park at the. Yeah, Vanessa knows the story. They had it at the park at the Mountain Life Museum, which is full of all kinds of stuff from the past. The buildings are old. The stuff is old. If there's going to be energy, it's there. And we were all meeting in this room. And they were playing some stuff that was probably exciting, some spirits that, hey, don't do that, stop. And then as we finish up with what we were doing, everybody kind of leaves. Well, the guy that was leading it, one of the guys, there was like three, one of the guys that was leading it, me and my youngest daughter were still in there, and they had a spirit box, and he was still just letting it run. If you don't know what a spirit box is, it picks up radio waves and allows a spirit, if they want to, if you believe in this, it allows them to speak through it, the radio waves. As we were standing there, just the three of us in that part of the museum, the spirit box happened to say my wife's name. Now, here's the crazy part. If it's just me and my daughter, nobody cares, nobody believes us, who knows? The third guy, the guy that was actually leading the thing, sees me and my daughter from the other side of the room, turn around and go like, what did it say? And he looks over at us, he's like, oh, do you know Vanessa Miller? And it's like, oh, you heard it too?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we had a recording of it for a little while because they recorded everything, and then we ended up losing it. So once again, it's a story with no actual proof. But in the meantime, something happened. If it's a coincidence, it was enough of a coincidence to make me think, well, you know what? For some reason, something did something.
Wow.
I'll go with it.
That's pretty good.
That's a good story.
That is.
I mean, we have to call it a story because we ain't got no audio.
That's it. Allegedly. Allegedly, it's a good story.
It's a good story, though. It is.
Last one.
I'm a believer of that. Bigfoot.
Sorry, Jericho.
I know.
Yeah.
I knew. See, you guys didn't get to see it, but he showed me a picture of his workspace there, and it was Bigfoot. And I knew by the way he showed me the picture, he didn't believe.
So a buddy of mine that I work with, that's his workspace, and we cut up about it all the time. And with the amount of cameras we have out today, trail cams, drones all over the place and stuff, there'd be a much better picture than what we've got already. My opinion. So hopefully, just like the aliens, if it's out there, let's get some real proof. Let's see it. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to watch every single Bigfoot, documentary that shows up out there, just for them to dangle that carrot for 2 hours and then still never pay off. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
you
what you're
watched
talking.
every one of those too.
I have, yes.
They never show any proof.
Never show any proof.
But have you seen here lately? There's been supposedly a lot of sightings popping up in Ohio.
Don't listen to anything. Listen to anything he says.
Yeah.
I've had two sheriffs on there and ask about a number they call it. Jericho's pitched me down and everything else. We've called the police and everything. Don't listen to none of that.
We did. I called the police right here on the show and asked them if they had a special number just for Bigfoot.
Did they hang up on you, or did
they kind of laughed at me?
I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So, Monday, Tracy Hanley will be on the show. Guys, it's exciting because we don't want to just give one side of a story. And I hate that we keep saying sides. However, that's what it feels. But we certainly like to thank Johnny Miller for City Council of
Not
London.
farmer.
Not farmer.
I've been called worse.
For being on the show tonight and being transparent. I don't know that there's one question that you skipped over. If anybody goes back and watches this, they'll not see you skip one question.
Yeah,
and that says a whole lot about who you are.
Never the intention, I want to, not to just plug you guys, but I want to push everybody. If you're really interested in all this, make sure you watch Monday.
Yeah.
Let's get answers from everybody.
Because all the mayor questions would be more fitted in Monday.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. I mean, that's the case that she's making anyways, about the indictments and all the behind the scenes stuff that we don't know anything about. Anyways.
Yep.
Johnny, thank you again for coming on the show. Guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you for everybody that's asked some questions and watching. You'll be hearing a lot more from me. Definitely between now and May 19th, and then we'll probably take a little break. If I make it past May, which the intent obviously is to, we'll come around and we'll pick up some signs, and then we'll put them back out a little closer to November.
We'll have them back on the show. If you make it through May, we'll bring you back in November.
I would really appreciate that.
Fair enough?
Yeah, and that would give even more opportunity for people to ask more questions.
Wouldn't it have to be before November? It'd have to be October. The vote's in the 1st of November.
I think people knew what I meant.
No,
okay, thanks for clearing that up, Ronnie.
But also, guys, I'm going to start saying this every show. We have kicked off our NSC media. We got photography, videography. We do all kinds of stuff. You can check us out on the No Sugarcoating Photography Facebook page or profile. But if you need any photography or videography, please hit us up. We would love to work with you and try to help you the best we can.
Thank you all so much.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks.
Located at 511 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, Sugar Booger's Custom Cakes has been bringing delicious treats to the Tri-County area for over a decade. Whether it be a cupcake, cookie, cake pop, brownie, or a signature one-of-a-kind custom cake that will be the star of any event, Sugar Boogers has you covered. Easy online ordering with polite, knowledgeable staff guaranteed to make each experience easy and stress-free. Go check them out on Facebook or give them a call for a free estimate. Sugar Boogers Custom Cakes for all occasions, 606